Afro-Caribbean, a person of African descent born, or living in a Caribbean nation. Afro-Caribbean refers to people from Caribbean islands with African ancestry, whose presence in the region dates back to the Atlantic slave trade from the 16th century. This has led to rich cultural heritages on islands like Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba, where African traditions merged with European influences to create unique musical genres, religious practices, and social customs, and where descendants are now influential in their communities and beyond. Who are Afro-Caribbeans? Ancestry. Afro-Caribbeans trace their full or partial ancestry to the African continent. Historical roots. Most are descendants of enslaved Africans brought to the Caribbean between the 16th and 19th centuries to work on plantations, primarily sugar plantations. Cultural significance. Cultural synthesis. Afro-Caribbean cultures are the result of a blend of African folkways and customs with European colonial influences, creating unique Creole cultures that vary by island. Music and arts. The music of the Afro-Caribbean region, influenced by African rhythms and European harmonies, includes genres like reggae, calypso, salsa, and merengue. Language and customs. The cultural identity is expressed through various elements, including languages, religions, and specific island traditions. Geographical distribution. Caribbean islands. Major countries with significant Afro-Caribbean populations include Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba, and Trinidad and Tobago. Diaspora communities. There are also large Afro-Caribbean communities in the UK and other parts of the world, particularly in cities with a history of migration from the Caribbean. Notable figures. Afro-Caribbean communities have produced influential individuals who have significantly impacted societies worldwide, such as political activists Marcus Garvey and C.L.R. James, and writers like Aimé Césaire, who developed the Negritude movement. Afro-Caribbeans are black people who ended up in the Caribbean from Africa as a result of slavery. They were enslaved to work for free in agriculture, mainly sugar plantations, but also as house servants between 1526 to 1867. Close to 11 million people were enslaved in the Americas by Portuguese, British, Spanish, French, Dutch, and Danish people, mainly from East, West, Central, North, and Southern Africa. Afro-Caribbean countries: Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, Virgin Islands. It is from some of these countries where Marcus Garvey, Frantz Fanon, and Bob Marley come from, but also those the younger generations know better: Usain Bolt, Nicki Minaj, DJ Perryvilla, and Rihanna. There has been a lot of intermarriages with other races, to the extent that there are mixed races, as they are called in other countries, or coloreds, as they are called in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and other countries. Myths about slavery. Europeans have for long advanced some myths about slavery, mainly to exonerate them from this grave injustice. It is untrue that slavery was started by Africans. The truth is, it was initiated by Europeans, by force and deception, as a result of their capitalistic and individualistic tendencies. It is untrue that an equal number of slaves was taken to Asia. There was slaves taken to Asia, but not comparable to those who were taken by Europeans. It is utterly untrue that slavery benefited Africa or African kingdoms. In fact, it destroyed them by taking labor away. Often, white people used kings, then turn against them to increase number of slaves. It is untrue that Africans willingly participated in the slave trade. Where they did, it was by force and cohesion and deception. It is untrue that slavery was not resisted by families, villages, kingdoms, and those enslaved. It is untrue that slave owners were humane. In fact, they separated families, beat individuals, killed, raped, etc. While Jews are receiving reparations in billions from Germany of dollars for the Holocaust, white people have refused to do the same for those who suffered the horrors of slavery and their communities of origin. Related, Germany has resisted paying reparations for the genocide it committed in Namibia. No reparations for black people, but for white people. It is a myth that Africans were enslaved by Africans. This idea is pushed by white people to exonerate themselves, Yet black people who participated did so under force, coercion, deception, and small tokens such as alcohol. Religion, especially Christianity, played a huge role in slavery by forcing people to be submissive. Slaves contributed to the economies and development of the developed world. Free labor for about 400 years. It is a myth that slavery happened a long time ago, and it has been forgotten. The wounds are very fresh and they are opened every day. There are many families, communities, businesses, and institutions who benefited from slavery and are still enjoying the proceeds today. Philosophy and connection with Africa. The motherland. Afro-Caribbean people value connection to Africa, the motherland. They share a dream of being on the motherland one day and touching the soil of Africa. They dream of the return, a period when they will return to the motherland. This is a dream shared by all Africans in the diaspora. Make sure you like and subscribe to Jamaicans Connecting.